Hello students, welcome back to your English class. Today we are going to read a beautiful poem by one of the most revered poets of our country. Let's begin with a quote today. You can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water. What does he mean? He means that if you want to solve your problem, you have to get deep into it. You cannot solve a problem by looking at it. This is Rabindranath Tagore, very fondly known as Gurudev, and one of the primary literary figures of our country. We always discuss our poets and authors, but today it is special. Why is it special? Because you are talking about that person who gave the honor of getting the first Nobel Prize in Literature to our country. Yes, very right. Rabindranath Tagore was the first person to get the Nobel Prize for Literature in our country. Rabindranath Tagore was a Bengali poet. He was writer, music composer, and he's given us our national anthem. I'm sure you all know that Jan Gan Man was written by Rabindranath Tagore. He was born on 7th May 1861 and he died on 7th August 1941. Take a look at this. This is Rabindranath Tagore as a young boy, then grown up to be a young man, and then the Gurudev as we know him. This is a picture of his youth. This is one of his most famous work, which is Gitanjali. This is the work that won him the Nobel Prize in Literature. This is Rabindranath Tagore at work, and this is Rabindranath Tagore pondering over things. Let's move on to the poem now. First, we'll understand the meaning of the word bargain. What is bargain? Bargain is an agreement in which both the people who are bargaining promise to share something with each other. Bargain was the common thing that people did before money was used. Now, they would give one thing, say grains to one person, and the other person would provide services. So here you see that there's a man. This man, he is a daily wage earner. He works on daily basis for different people and he's looking for a good bargain. Why do you think the poem is titled The Last Bargain? It is titled as The Last Bargain because finally the person gets what he's looking for. He gets the best bargain for his work. He gets the best bargain for his day's work and he's happy to strike that bargain. Before that best bargain, he is approached by 3 different people, but he finds all the 3 bargains as useless. He does not want to associate and give his services to any one of them, and he wants something very special in return for his efforts. Let's find out what is that something special. Let's read the poem. "Come and hire me," I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone-paved road. Sword in hand the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, "I will hire you with my power." But his power counted for naught, and he went away in his chariot. Now who's saying come and hire me? The daily wage earner or a person who's looking for work. He is going from place to place and he's crying, he's saying, "Hire me for a day's work." He's walking on a stone-paved road, a road made of stones. And what does he see? He sees that a king is coming in his chariot. What is a chariot? Chariot is in Hindi a buggy. It is drawn by horses. And the king was sitting in the chariot. He had a sword in his hand. And he held that man's hand, and what did the king say? The king said, "I will hire you with my power." So king said, "I have so much of power that I can hire you." But the man said, the power counted for naught. Naught is what? Nothing. He believed that power was worthless. He was not looking for power. He didn't want king's power, and he was not ready to work for the king. So the king went away. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lane. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. So now this person started looking for his job in the morning. So the king came in the morning, and this is afternoon now, midday. It is midday now, and people have closed their doors shut because it is very hot. And this man is still looking for something worthwhile to do, something right to do, something that would give him pleasure and happiness. But what does he see? He is walking on the crooked lane. What is crooked? Not straight, zigzagged, and too many turns and twists. So he is walking on the crooked lane, and he sees an old man coming to him with a bag of gold. So what does the old man have? He has money. The king had power. The old man has money. And what does he say? He says, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins, but the daily wage earner, the person looking for the job, turned away. That means he did not want money either. So he didn't want power, he didn't want money. Then what does he want? What is his last bargain? What is the last thing that he's looking for? Let's find out. In the evening, now it is evening. The garden hedge was all aflower. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. So now it's evening, and he sees that the garden hedge is that short plant that you generally plant on the boundary of your garden. So that hedge has flowers. A flower, that means it has got lots of flowers on it. And out comes a fair maid. A young beautiful girl is called a fair maid. She comes and she says, I will hire you with a smile. So what is she offering? She is offering happiness. But do you think her happiness is real? No. Her happiness is not real. And this person who is looking for true happiness realizes that the pretty girl's smile is only a facade. She is only showing a smile, but inside she has a world of pain. So this man does not want her pain. So the girl, the moment she realizes that this man does not want to work for her, her smile paled means become faint and melted into tears. Her smile turned into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. So that means this girl resembled or showed loneliness, unhappiness, and pain that the adults feel in their life. You know, adults are not as innocent and carefree as children. Children can always do what they want. They always say what they mean. They always show innocence and happiness at its core. But they do not plan things. They do not execute things for getting material gains. Children are very innocent and pure at heart. But this lady is obviously an adult, and she represents loneliness and sorrow. Let's read the last paragraph, which it will indicate the last bargain. The sun glistened on the sand, and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From henceforth forward, that bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. So now the sun is going to set, and the rays of the setting sun are glistening. Glistening is what? Shining and sparkling on the sand on the beach. So now he's reached the beach, and the sea waves are coming towards the beach and going. And a child is sitting there who's playing with seashells. And the child looks at this daily wage earner and says, I will hire you with nothing. So the child does not have anything material to give. He does not have power, he does not have money, but he has what? His nothing has true happiness, true joy, true contentment, and all that you are looking for in life, satisfaction. When you are with a child, you are the happiest, because that child will show you the deepest of the emotions which are uncontaminated. His emotions are pure and real. So the child says, I'll hire you with nothing, but the child does not realize what he's offering. He's offering true happiness. And then the person, the daily wage earner, says, from that moment onward, I struck a bargain in child's play. What is child's play? Playing like a child, or in nothing, no seriousness. So in no seriousness, I struck that bargain, but it made me a free man. See, he was not bound. He was not bound by power, money, or fake happiness. He was free. He was free why? Because the child gave him true emotions, true happiness, and true freedom. I hope you all enjoyed the poem, and we will discuss the literary devices now. And what message does this poem give? Before we discuss the literary devices, let's discuss the message that the poem gives. The poem tells you that what is the last and the most important thing in your life. The most important thing in anyone's life is being true, is being free. So having true happiness in life, being satisfied and feeling free and not be bound with material pleasures is your aim in life, is my aim in life. It should be everyone's aim in life. We should all strive to strike that last bargain in which we find freedom, happiness, joy, and truth. That is what our aim should be. I hope you understand the theme of the poem, the meaning of the poem, and let's move on to the literary devices now. As I have mentioned earlier many a times during the class, that most of the poems that you read have a literal explanation and a metaphorical explanation. This poem has a very deep meaning and has a metaphorical expression. Therefore, symbolism has been used. What is symbolism? It means when an idea or object means something deeper than the words that are written. So stone paved road and crooked lane represent difficult path on which the poet was travelling, or the man, the daily wage earner, was travelling. It is not always that when you read a poem or a chapter, it's the personal experience of a person and the person is talking about himself or herself only. They may be talking about the characters that they've created. So it shows the difficult path on which that man was travelling. Difficult path represents what? Difficulties of life. Life is difficult. You and me, everybody walks on a difficult path. And what are we looking to get? We are looking to strike that final, the last bargain, which gives us pure happiness. Okay? So the man is travelling on stone paved road and crooked road representing difficult path that comes in life. King in his chariot and sword in hand represents power. An old man with a bag of gold represents wealth. A lady with a smile represents beauty. Also, you see alliteration in this poem. Alliteration is the repetition of the same consonant sound. I was walking, were and were sound. The king came, ker and ker sound. The sun glistened on the sand and the sea waves, sir, sir and sir, made me a free man. Sound of mer, mer and mer. So these are the literary devices. Children, with this we come to the end of the poem. I hope you are clear. We'll discuss the doubts in the class. Thank you all.